Are we doing an intro, or are we just going to cut them?
Yeah, we're doing an intro. Yeah, doing an intro.
Ed Stafford, hi.
Hello.
4 rapid fire questions for you, short answers. What was the most unexpected thing that happened in any of Laura's pregnancies or births?
Most unexpected.
Or surprising or unusual or funny? I don't know.
Well, twins probably is a big one. 2 instead of 1.
I think our twins were conceived a week apart. That's quite surprising, isn't it?
Whoa.
I was in China a lot, and my wife has this ovulation app, and I was away during all of the critical moments, and she's quite impatient, and so we it wasn't IVF, it was the I'm going to use the word turkey baster, which I'm sure is not the term that you're meant to use, but we did that basically, and because she was put on I can't remember the Clomid, drug to increase the production of eggs. She had one mature one and one slightly immature egg, and so they said there's a chance of twins, but it's unlikely that the second one will actually develop. Yeah, and then I come back from China, and I think a week later the second one happened naturally. So yeah, that's quite a quirky thing, isn't it? And the doctor said,
wow,
I don't think your twins were conceived at the same time. There's always been a week's worth of growth all the way through the pregnancy. There was always a week worth of advancement apart, and so that was the
wow. And did the older one get born first? Sorry,
mm-hmm.
Did the older one get born first?
Yeah, the older one got the very dominant position. It was just in the classic head down position with spine to Laura's belly, and the other one was cramped up in her ribs. And actually, when Millie came out, the second one, she looked quite malnourished. She had a really sort of very thin skull, but she's filled out loads now. I think as soon, because they both get sort of equal breast milk, and they're the same size now actually. But I think the discrepancy was because the first one got the dominant position and the second one got, the left.
Bullied, essentially. Womb bullying.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
So next question. What is the best bit of wisdom or advice that you or your wife heard that really helped you during that process of pregnancy, birthing?
It was being advised to do the hypnobirthing, I think. Even though we did with Ran, he was born in the bedroom in a birthing pool, and I delivered him, and it was amazing, and we had a really easy birth. And I know that some people don't. I don't want to we didn't do anything special really, but we did do hypnobirthing, and it gave me a role basically, and I think that a lot of men, back in the day, they used to go to the pub, didn't they? But even now, a lot of men that go to the hospital don't really have a role, and I think that that role of just being there to protect Laura's space, calm her down, work on her breathing and stuff, I just absolutely loved it. And when Ram was born, I remember because I delivered him, and his head came out, and I hadn't watched any of these birthing videos, and it was underwater, and his head was purple, and he wasn't breathing because he's underwater and he hasn't come to the surface yet. So obviously I should know that, but I thought he was dead. And
oh God!
And then she stopped a contraction. So I'm now stroking Laura's back, calming her down, thinking the baby's dead, and then contractions started again, like 45 seconds later, whenever it was, can't even remember the time. Came out, he came to the surface, started crying, and I broke down like I've never broken down before.
Wow.
The hardest tears as I realised obviously he was alive. But yeah, that was quite full on. I don't even remember what the question was as to why.
That's a bit of wisdom or advice. Something about hypnobirthing. That was it. Great. Yes.
Hypnobirthing was incredible. And then the second time around, because it was twins, we were advised that there's a chance of there's higher chances of complications post 40 weeks if you've got twins. And so at 40 weeks, we had a C-section booked in. We didn't really want to do it, but we were on the way to the C-section, and Laura said, "Do you think we could just ask them to nick my waters and just see if we can do this naturally?" And they had a really open-minded team on, and so they agreed to it. So we were going in for a C-section, and they nicked Laura's waters and didn't have a C-section at all. She went into labor within about 15 minutes, and then within 4 hours we'd had 2 naturally born twins, which was lovely. And then the midwife came in afterwards, and she says, "I just wanted to say thank you because to my wife, not to me, because we don't normally get to see this, and you pretty much, you turn down painkillers, you turned down the C-section, obviously you turned down, you pretty much went against every bit of advice, and yet everyone on the team has seen, you know, twins being delivered naturally, and it was she was just very grateful for
cool.
Laura for being confident enough that she knew her own body, that she could do it. So that wasn't, yeah. So I think hypnobirthing worked massively on both. Even though the second one was in the hospital, it was still, you know, it just changes your attitude towards childbirth, doesn't it? From sort of an emergency scenario to something quite empowering, I think. And she certainly felt empowered enough to do that. So yeah.
Cool.
What a hero.
Well, yeah, seriously.
What was
tricky?
What was Laura's?
Should I cut them down a bit?
No, perfect. No, perfect.
Not at all.
Perfect.
These are fun.
Cool. Did Laura have any weird cravings or any weird things when she was pregnant at all?
Did she have any weird cravings? I don't know that she did, actually. She had more of a repulsion for me for quite a time. I remember being like sort of public enemy number one for quite a few months of both pregnancies, actually. And I don't know why that is. I don't know whether that's a common thing for wives to start hating their husbands or just being extraordinarily intolerant of their husbands for an extended period of time. But no, it wasn't a food thing. I think she just
maybe you weren't giving her that food. Maybe you hadn't discovered that she wanted that thing, that whatever it is, I don't know, noodle soup, who knows?
No, don't think so. Just didn't want me.
That's all recovered now. That's great news. Our last question is, so where do you guys go to find joy as parents?
Where do we go and find joy? That's a nice one. It's probably out in the garden, if I'm honest. It's certainly over the recent months where we've been at home a lot, in all areas. I think, you know, my wife's happy place. She doesn't meditate, but she's got a vegetable garden, and that's her reset. And in the evening, she'll go down and water that and look after that. My little boy, if he's crying, I take him outside, and as soon as, you know, the fresh breeze gets on his face, he calms down. He's very, very rarely in a bad place in the garden, I think. And me as well. You know, we've just got pigs in the garden, and I take food down and feed the pigs every day, and completely head over here in love with these 3 little pigs. So for all of us, I think it's outdoors. Happy places outdoors.
Yeah, well, couldn't agree more. Great.
Yeah, we agree too. Ed,
thank you so much.